Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing amazing. Today I'm going to be just showing you my DT A-level NEA and how I got 95 out of 100. I got my mark back today, which is pretty cool. And yeah, if any of you guys are doing DT product design and you have your coursework that you need to do, this may be of help to you. So yeah, please use this as a guide. I did this video about 2 years ago where I did my GCSE one and I got a lot of positive feedback. So I thought I would do this for my DTA level one. And yeah, let's begin. For context, my coursework was about storage within the household. And I began with a research table. You can take a look at this. This is just basically to help me on know what I wanted to research. This is my introduction page where I did a survey. I wrote about, yeah, you guys can just read this through. Common household storage problems. I was basically just gaining an idea on the different ways you can store things in your house, personal possessions and stuff like that. I then began by analyzing storage solutions within my household. Like, I did this by finding the pros and cons of all of them. I did this for all of these different types of storage: shoe storage, TV stand storage, bedside table, cupboard, bookshelf, art desk storage, all of it. I then did some secondary research page where I did some existing product analysis of some overall products. I then did the same, but I looked at like specific products. You can probably do another page on this, but yeah, I looked at some bedside tables. I then did my company case study, which I was looking at IKEA, because IKEA is a very famous furniture company. I'm sure everyone watching this knows that. Then visited IKEA actually, and I was looking at different types of storage: open wardrobe, sliding doors, all of that. I then looked at more, looked at cabinets and drawers, and then started looking at bedside tables. For context, this is my client's bedside table, and for some more context, my client was my dad. This is a current bedside table. Not great. Yeah, I just looked at loads of different types of bedside tables, lots of them, and just got the pros and cons, wrote about everything, just evaluated them pretty much. I then did an overall thoughts and conclusion slide, which was about my IKEA visit, got some client feedback at the bottom. I then did social, moral, environmental, and economic impacts within my project. This is my client introduction page. This is my dad, actually. Some of you may have seen this guy before. I asked him some questions. I did an observational study. That's very important. Do an observational study in your client page. I then did a design movement and designer research page. I looked at modernism, which is Bauhaus. I looked at postmodernism, which you will see more of. I looked at, yeah, just a variety of different things. I then did designers and their work in the industry. I looked at bedside tables. I looked at the designer. I did this for 2 pages, in fact. I then did ergonomics, anthropometrics, and research. Ergonomics and anthropometrics research for my bedside unit design. I got the measurements of my dad here. That's great. I then did my research conclusion, which is, what did I find from all the research I just showed you guys? And how will it influence me throughout the rest of my project? That's what you want to write, pretty much. Then we got to my specification and my bedside table brief. This is my bedside table brief. Yeah. And I also interviewed my mum as well. A few little questions here. I'll be honest, I kind of wrote this all myself, but the examiner does not know that. Now, this is my design specification, which is basically what do I want my product to meet at the end? Like, what are the different requirements? Now we get into design proposals. I started doing some initial bedside unit design concepts right here. They're not great drawings, but that does not matter. It doesn't matter if they're good quality, if they communicate well to your client and the examiner. It's perfect. It's fine. Stuff like that. Now, my dad obviously wanted to store more stuff within his bedside table. He didn't want this flat bedside table like the current one that he has. That's a problem. He wanted to store like his glasses. He wanted to store his books, his phone, like all his personal accessories, a cup, like to drink from, a cup holder. Then I started going in on the bedside unit design concepts. I started developing them. I then did a design specification evaluation matrix, which I'll be honest, I don't really know what that means. But I scored this one the highest because I liked it the most. And this is the one I wanted to make. I then did the development of one of my bedside designs page, which is page 104. Now this is my prototype development. Like, this is not my final thing, but you'll see how it develops over time. Like, my drawings improve. I bring it over to CAD, which I use Rhino 8 for CAD, which I love. It's amazing. I also showed some orthographic projections. That's very important. I then started manufacturing my prototype. I did a manufacturing page for my prototype, and an evaluation and conclusion. You should always evaluate everything you make. That's very important. It is, do it throughout your whole project. Pardon me. And then I developed another bedside table design page. That made no sense. I then developed another bedside table design. This is the bedside table design. I did do this firstly in out of cardboard. What went well, what can be improved. I then did it in MDF, which wasn't the most successful. I kind of got the cup holder wrong, but that's great. You can write how you got that wrong in your what can be improved. It shows that you're showing to the examiner that if you did it again, you would make it 10 times better. Then I did materials research, potential materials I could use, materials I've tested so far. Then I started did a developing components page, which was joint testing, which was hidden mortise and tenon joints. If you look close, you can see the joints are visible. I did not want that because it's obviously, it doesn't look professional. Now, this is my final product design illustration, which was hand drawn. It's not the greatest drawing. I didn't scan this as well, so I just took a picture of it. It looks quite bad. But as you can see, I'm going to be honest, I drew this after I made my product. You can rearrange when you do stuff. Like, it does not matter. The examiner does not know. I then did an orthographic projection of my final product with all the measurements. Like, this is easy. This is easily like read. Like, it communicates so well to the examiner what you actually want. I just put everything, materials used, tolerances, all of it. Sorry, my door just opened. Now, this is my final CAD drawings bedside table design. It shows that I've made a lamp for my dad, a cup holder, a wireless charging ring. It's got different colours for the postmodernism aspect of everything. And then we've got this exploded design over here. You need to get exploded drawings within your project. Very important. Now, this is my final material research page where I chose birch plywood. I also use ABS for the 3D print inserts for like the cup holder and stuff like that. And I used acrylic sheets and shelves for the coloured acrylic to show that postmodernism. And then this is my cutting list and material breakdown. Make sure you do a page like this. I just drew this up all on CAD, coloured it, made it coordinated, easy to read. It's all easy to read. This is my cutting list, which is a table where you just say the size of everything and how it will be assembled, pretty much. This is my manufacturing plan prior to manufacture. I'll be honest again, I did this post manufacture. I did this after because I didn't really know how to plan before in such detail, if that makes sense. This is my initial working drawing. I did this before I started drawing the final thing up in CAD. So it's just way easier. It's just a quick drawing with some measurements. This is my first manufacturing page. This is like me beginning to make my final product. I drew it up in Rhino 8 like this with the charging ring slot, cup holder. It's got a hidden wire slot for the wire to come out the side. It's got a lamp holder hole, and then I started just doing the cam. Sorry, my door just keeps opening. I then began doing the cam of everything. Like, I did the extraction setup, did the slots, all of it, cut it all out on the CNC machine, and then I chiseled away all the tabs that held it together. Now, I then had to chisel the slot corners for assembly. Now, this is the laser cutting and acrylic shelving. Laser cutting the acrylic shelving and the circle discs, which I did all on, what did I do? TextSoft 2D Design version 3, which was really easy. I did actually cut the circle disc run at first without the cup holder and the wireless charging ring. And then I tried to manually saw it out. It was not successful at all. I then recut the correct disc design. So this is important. Like, you should show that you make mistakes. Like, it's not bad if you make mistakes. Make sure you get images of the mistakes, because it shows you modified it. It shows that you know how to iteratively fix it. This is my step 4 page where I sanded the panels, varnished it, and then assembled it with glue, clamps, and yeah, this is just the same thing, just gluing it together. I then had to modify the acrylic to make it fit, put the acrylic on, and this is what it started to look like, my bedside table. I then bought the lamp disc and the wireless charger, and this is what they look like. Put them in. I realized that it doesn't fit in the ring correctly, so I had to 3D print some rings to fit around it and stuff. And yeah, that's good. It shows I'm doing... I don't know if you can hear my dog in the background. Hopefully not. But yeah, it shows that I'm using lots of different manufacturing processes. Now this is the final page. This is the cup holder in use. All of it. Yes. This is... Alright. This is the final product. This is my finalized prototype. It's the bedside table I made for my dad. Yeah. It's pretty crazy, I know. The colors are pretty wild. If I were to get a bedside table, I don't know if I'd go this wild, but my dad likes it, and he's my client, so I have to conform with what he likes. And then I did a prototype versus final model comparison at the end. This is very important. You should do this. Definitely gets you more marks. Why not do it? And then I did a flow diagram manufacturing diary, which I did after I did my manufacturing. It basically says everything I did in my manufacturing to create my product, but it says... I'll show you an example. So it says create orthographic views to check spacing, and then it says check that the views clearly show all important features. If they do, you go on to the next one. If it doesn't, you go back. I would just draw this first three, just draw like 2 out, and then just copy, and then it won't take as long as you think, but it looks pretty packed. Now this is the industrial manufacturing processes page, which it basically explores how my final bedside table could be manufactured using the industrial scale processes on everything. Yeah, that's basically that. Now, finally, we're on the evaluating side of my product. So we're right at the end of my project here. I know it's taken a while. So to begin with, I did my evaluation against my original design brief. I then did evaluation against my specification. Pretty easy. I just got 1.1, 1.2. If you go back to my specification, you can see how it's all numbered: 11.4, 11.5. All of that. I then put, did I achieve that in my final product, and evaluation of that. I also explained at the end. These are my final product features. Basically all the features of my bedside table: wireless charging, removable cup holder, lamp holder, acrylic shelves, joinery and slots, smooth rounded edges. You get it. I then just did all this on the right. I then did a final client review where I did an observational study again, just like at the start. So you see how it's linking together. You want to be able to do that. I even took pictures to show the development. Like, look at this change. This looks better, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree. Comment down below if you agree. But yeah, this is the initial. This is the better one. Yeah, I just compared them a whole ton with a table, massive paragraph. I even asked my dad questions on what he would improve. Client answers, all of that. Now we got modifications and final evaluation. Now, this is important. Modifications are super important. You should take pictures of all the modifications you made throughout. Like how I modified the acrylic discs. I had to adjust the clamps. I had to chisel the slot corners, which took a while. I had to, just write this all down. It'll get you more marks. And then this is my final product and evaluation. You can read this through, use it as a guide. It's just basically my evaluation of the product. Like, what do I think? What do I like about it? What don't I like about it? And boom, that's the final model photos, which you've already seen, of my bedside table that I made for my dad. For context, it's got the lamp holder. It's got a little cup holder. It also has a little wireless charger, so you place your phone on it, it charges. It's got all the different colored shelves. It's curved, just very postmodernism. And the last slide right here is the peer evaluation page, which I just asked 3 questions, put all my friends' names in, and I'm gonna be honest, I did not ask any of these guys these questions. I wrote this all myself, which you can do. It doesn't really matter. But asking them may be easier, but I didn't have time to ask all these people all these questions, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, guys, that is my final project. That is absolutely everything. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope it'll help. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe. This is obviously a different video to what you usually see from me. You usually see me putting on outfits. But this is what I do on the side. Like, this is what I enjoy. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. And comment down below if you need any help with anything. I will answer. Thank you very much.